What is going on, everybody? And I hope you're having a fantastic Hump Day Wednesday on this October 19th, Wednesday afternoon. This is NYG Jeffy T 85, and I'm here to bring you the Black and Blue Injury Report for Wednesday, October 19th, 2022, as the New York Giants prepare for their game against the Jacksonville Jaguars down in Jacksonville, Florida, this coming Sunday, 1 p.m., down there in Jacksonville. Now, I just want to go over one of the things that happened before I go over the official injury report. I want to go over one of the interesting things that was happening at practice today. Now, Jon Feliciano, he's been limited lately. He's been going through a bunch of lower leg injuries for the past couple of weeks. He has been on the practice report. He did depart a little bit during the game against the Baltimore Ravens this past Sunday due to a groin and leg injury, but he was able to come back later. But one of the trends that were actually happening during this game, during the practice today, Nick Gates was taking a couple of snaps at the center position, and he was taking snaps behind Daniel Jones. It wasn't Ben Bredeson, who we all saw in the game. Bredeson slid over to center for a little bit, and Joshua Ezeudu went in at left guard for that time being for the New York Giants when they were playing against the Baltimore Ravens. Obviously, because Nick Gates has not been officially activated for the team and is not officially activated to go out there and play games yet. But an interesting note, Jon Feliciano was limited at practice today, and when he wasn't out there, the person that was taking snaps with Daniel Jones at the center position was Nick Gates. So maybe that's an indication that they're trying to see where Nick Gates is right now. They're gauging where he is in his recovery back from multiple surgeries on his leg that he fractured last year against the Washington Commanders in Week 2 of the 2021 NFL season. And maybe that could be an indication that Nick Gates is actually a lot closer to returning back to the football field than maybe a lot of people might have indicated, which would be an absolutely fantastic thing to see. So that's just a little side note I want to give everybody on potentially a guy like Nick Gates, who could be activated, if not next week. If not this week, obviously he's going to have to get activated within the next week or so because of the fact that the New York Giants have a 21-day clock with Nick Gates after he was activated from the PUP list. So they need to get him back into the game and back on the field, or he's going to be placed on season-ending IR, ending his season relatively. Now, in terms of the guys that were at practice today who did not practice today, 4 names are pretty much like, guys we've seen that have been on the injury list for the past couple of weeks. Now, Brian Daboll did his press conference this afternoon, pretty much trying to go over the injury report, and he was saying that both Kadarius Toney and Kenny Golladay, Toney dealing with the multiple hamstrings, Golladay dealing with the sprained MCL, they said that both players were getting better in their rehabilitation, but at the same time, neither of them practiced today at practice. They were pretty much on the side, light jogging, maybe a little bit of light running. But Brian Daboll said that Kadarius Toney specifically is right now nowhere close to returning, and that he's still got a while to go until he might be returning to the football field, which is a little bit of a just concerning element that Toney, who just cannot get over these hamstring woes that he's been dealing with since his rookie season last year, he's just having difficulty right now getting past these hamstring injuries. So Toney seems like he's further away than Golladay, but Golladay obviously is not closer to returning to the field right now too. And I think the right protocol would do with these two guys, hold them out now this week. Giants go to a bye next week, and then the week after that they come back out of the bye, and I believe they play against Seattle. So the New York Giants, maybe it's best off, give these guys at least another couple of weeks to get better, and then maybe you reevaluate them if they're actually still on the team, because the trade deadline's coming up too. Giants bye is going to be happening right around the trade deadline, so it's going to be interesting with what's going to be happening with the Giants going forward. But also have to see where Kenny Golladay and Kadarius Toney's status are going to be coming out of the bye. Ditto for a guy like Cor'Dale Flott. He's dealing with the strained calf. He's missed the past 3 games of the season since he departed that game against the Carolina Panthers. So we don't know anything right now going on with Cor'Dale Flott. He's right now in danger of missing his 4th game. Looking more likely he's going to miss his 4th game of the season. So he's dealing with the calf. So Flott, Golladay, Toney, and also Jason Pinnock, who was injured in the game against the Green Bay Packers, missed this past game against Baltimore. He's dealing with an ankle injury. He did not practice at all today as well. I think that the Giants are pretty much going to play careful with their injured guys right now. And another guy that just entered the injured list, Oshane Ximenes, who's dealing with a quad injury. Ximenez has had a very, very good season so far. He's played very well in that Wink Martindale system. He didn't practice today. He's dealing with a quad injury. Have to see how he's going to look tomorrow and Friday, but I would not be shocked if Jimenez maybe misses this game. And you have to think about it too. Ellerson Smith, who's been on the PUP list for the first 6 weeks of the season, he's going to be eligible to come off that PUP list very soon. And you have to wonder, with this Oshane Ximenes injury, if it might open the door for a guy like Ellerson Smith to possibly get on the football field and show what he can do. Because of the fact that Jimenez now is dealing with a quad injury and he did not practice. And a quad injury, just like a groin injury, just like a hamstring, just like an ankle injury, they linger. So I don't know what's going to be happening, or a calf injury as well. I don't know what's going to be happening with Oshane Ximenes, but he did not practice today either. So the Giants have 5 players that did not practice today. Now in terms of the limited guys, Saquon Barkley, he's dealing right now with a shoulder injury. Obviously he was trying to fight through the pain during that Baltimore Ravens game. Brian Daboll said in his press conference that this team don't have to really worry about him right now. Barkley's just going to be okay. He's just going to have to try to deal with and manage through the pain, which is understandable. Barkley's just going to have to be a guy who's going to have to tough it out, which he has been doing. He's been in and out of the lineup at times, but Barkley's still going out there and playing effective, good football overall. So Barkley's dealing with a shoulder injury. He had a limited practice. Jon Feliciano has been pretty much on the injury report the entire season. Even though he hasn't missed any games, he's dealing with a groin injury now. His play's been very, very erratic. So Feliciano has been dealing with lower leg injuries. He's been dealing with ankle injuries. He's now dealing with a groin injury. He was limited at practice today. Think he'll be able to play on Sunday, but it's just not good look when your center just can't stay healthy. Azeez Ojulari coming back from the calf injury, strained calf that he re-injured when he was playing against when the Giants were playing against the Dallas Cowboys. So he's coming back from that injury. Hopefully he's going to be able to be all right. Hopefully he's going to be able to be all right and come back into the season. Hopefully he's going to be able to play this Sunday against the Jacksonville Jaguars. My apologies. So Azeez Ojulari looks like he's trending towards playing. And Andrew Thomas. It was originally said that maybe Andrew Thomas, he was limping during that game against the Baltimore Ravens this past Sunday. But Brian Daboll said in his press conference that Andrew Thomas right now is also dealing with an elbow injury, and that's why he had a limited participation in practice. Still not really concerned of Thomas missing any time, but of course Thomas has dealt with ankle injuries. He had 2 off-season surgeries in back-to-back years in his first 2 years. And that's the one thing you have to be worried and concerned about with your left tackle, with the New York Giants franchise left tackle, is that Andrew Thomas has dealt with ankle injuries. So you have to always be cautious with that, even though he does say he has an elbow injury on the injury report. But it seems like that everything's going to be okay and nothing completely too worried about with Andrew Thomas. So I'm just going to go over the injury report one more time for the New York Giants, according to Dan Salamone of NewYorkGiants.com. Cor'Dale Flott, calf injury. Kenny Golladay, sprained MCL. Jason Pinnock, ankle. Kadarius Toney, hamstring injury, strained hamstring. These 4 guys have been pretty much non-factors for the past couple of weeks. Pinnock played in a little bit in the past game or 2, but these guys have pretty much been on the injury report for the past 3-4 weeks. They're probably not playing. Don't expect them to play, especially with a bye coming up. I think that the Giants are going to rest these guys, not play them, and then we'll reevaluate before the trade deadline on November 1st, as well as evaluate where these guys are heading into that game against Seattle after the bye. And then Oshane Ximenes, a new addition to the injury report, dealing with a quad injury. He didn't practice today. Don't know his status going forward, but we'll have to wait and see how he looks at practice Thursday and Friday. And the limited participants, Saquon Barkley dealing with the strained shoulder. He's been fighting through the pain. Kudos to Saquon Barkley, still going out there playing effective, strong, good football. He was limited today at practice with that shoulder. Feliciano has been dealing with a whole lot of lower leg injuries, whether it's lower leg, knee, ankle, foot. But he still had a limited practice today. Now he's dealing with the groin. Hopefully he's going to be okay. Azeez Ojulari seems to be trending toward playing. Got a limited practice today. Good sign that Ojulari might be able to get back to the game, to get back and play for the Giants this Sunday against Jacksonville. And Andrew Thomas, he did limp a little bit off the field during that game against the Baltimore Ravens with an ankle injury. His troublesome ankle that he's been dealing with, but it is listed on as an elbow injury on the injury report, and he got a limited session, so no worries about Andrew Thomas right now. And like I mentioned earlier, Nick Gates was taking snaps with Daniel Jones during practice today, and that might be a sign that maybe Nick Gates could be getting closer to activation and getting into game formats if, in fact, Jon Feliciano might have to miss some time due to injury, and it would be an amazing, remarkable story if, in fact, Nick Gates can get back on the football field after dealing with the kind of stuff that he's had to deal with in the offseason with all the multiple surgeries he's had to go through. So that'd be an amazing story. And we all love Nick Gates, and we're all rooting for Nick Gates to be able to make that happen. We'll see what's going to happen going forward. But that's my black and blue injury report for Wednesday, Hump Day Wednesday, October 19th, 2022 for the New York Football Giants as they continue to prepare for their game this Sunday against the Jacksonville Jaguars down in Jacksonville, Florida, as the Giants look to improve their record to impressive 6-1 record heading into their bye the week after. So if you guys like this video, please hit the like button below. Sub up if you haven't already to NYGJeffyT85 for more breaking news, injury report / updates, roster updates, and chatter surrounding the New York Football Giants. Turn on the bell for notifications on the next video or short concerning the New York Giants. And let me know in the comment section what you guys think about the recent injury report that's been dropped. A couple of familiar names on that list. Probably won't be playing. New additions to the list. If your concern level for some of these guys, or you think it's just procedural, and what is your outlook for this team in terms of the injured guys and who we might be getting back for this game against the Jaguars this Sunday. Have a fantastic rest of your Wednesday, everyone. Take it easy, and always remember, let's go New York Football Giants, as always, together blue, everyone.